much training as we go through. There's no way to really train a soldier for what's going to happen in combat. And there's no way to, I mean, all of our training has to do with being strong and independent. So you can't focus on what happens if it all falls apart. And so then we come home and we try to be strong and independent, and it all falls apart. And there is no training for that. And it's, the question is, how do we build the resources and the safety net to support the soldier when it does fall apart? I went through a phase where I was never actively suicidal. I never wanted to take my own life, but I did struggle with wanting to be dead and not wanting to have to deal with the struggles and the PTSD and the brain injury. But I never thought about killing myself. I just always hoped that I would be in that, I used to hope that I'd be in that freak car accident.
You have a military culture, and this is very, very important to understand. There is a military culture that our military folks are taught to take care of each other and follow orders. You are not weak. You are not damaged in any way. You are not influenced by the things that you feel and have to do because you're in the military.
It's really hard to ask for help. And in some level, because of all of our training, it's almost embarrassing. For like a long time, I didn't want other veterans, I didn't want the guys I deployed with to know that I had PTSD. When I was in, there was a lot higher standard of being deployable, like you couldn't be on certain types of antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications. And so if you went to a counselor or went to the doctor, you're most likely going to get put on medications, which means you can't deploy, which means you can't be promoted. Like, it impacts your career to admit that you have mental health problems. And so the unspoken thing was, if you're going to get help, don't tell anybody you're doing it if you want to stay in the military.
In the military and having some mental health issues, if you're not sleeping, if you're depressed, if your anxiety is out of whack, I mean, those can be complete career killers. You take a young man or woman who intends to make the military their career, and if they say, I really can't go out and do this today because I just can't face it one more time, it could be the end of their career.
That inability and that stigma against reaching out for help, I think, is really what a lot of it stems from. And I think that's why it's so important that we stop making it a negative thing and just make it a reality. And that's why I'm willing to talk about it and be honest and share my feelings and my experiences, is if I can help break the stigma a little bit and help somebody find the courage to go ask for help, then it's all worth it. I'm realizing more and more as I talk to veterans confidentially that everything I experienced was totally normal and we're all feeling it. So why can't we start treating it normally? We're looked up to by so much of the nation as heroes, defenders, protectors, whatever word you want to use. And so we're supposed to be kind of these unstoppable, unbreakable forces. And so when we break, it's really, I think it's kind of scary to people, and they don't know what to do with it. They don't want to see it. They want to see us as perfect and strong.